Oggi abbiamo una missione da compiere, provare il nuovo Pershing.
Today we have a mission to accomplish to try the new Pershing 5X. You should know that the Pershings are those metallic grey, sporty, super powerful boats and are equipped with a surface propulsion system that raises a spectacular wake. This one has something different. Max, can you put the camera underwater? They have installed Volvo Penta D11 engines of 725 horsepower with propulsion IPS pod drive. There's the joystick. Well, however, it is convenient, so it's easier to come out of even very narrow places like this.
Questo strumento ha diversi vantaggi, oltre al fatto di manovrare.
This tool has several advantages. Besides the ability to maneuver with precision and ease, for example, there is the dynamic position, which lets you hold the boat stopped at a given point without having to do anything. The system alone controls the inverters and accelerators to keep the boat exactly where you have determined. Then there is the trim assist. That controls the boat's dynamic trim. Also, this works automatically. And finally, the cruise control, as in a car, to keep the speed constant. In short, it is a Pershing that is a bit different from the others. Definitely easier to maneuver, even for those without great boating experience. See the movements, agile and spectacular. Now, before we give gas, let's see the deck and the interior. The line is simply beautiful. There are 4 windows on each side, each with a porthole. The deckhouse ends the characteristics wings. We saw this for the first time on the Pershing 70, and here they are even more evident. As always, the handrail is double, the railing on the outside and the fiberglass handrail along the side. At the stern there is the small submersible platform. In the garage there is room for a 280cm tender. It is a coupe, but watch how it opens. It is concealed here at the opening on the transom, thus changing the function of these areas. There are 2 sun decks, one forward and one aft, obviously. The cockpit is a vision of comfort, with 2 sofas and a wet bar in the corner. The lounge consists of 2 relaxation islands, one next to the wheelhouse with a sofa and chaise lounge, and one aft with seating, which is also usable as a lunch area. Now, on a 16-metre boat, 2 cabins may seem too few, but you are so sure that they want a boat that can be used as a hotel. It is not better to have a master suite like this? Maximum width, large surface area, and of course elegant, contemporary, very stylish, with tea for 2, and a bathroom, needless to say, en suite. The decor is modern in design and colours. For your potential guests, a couple, not more, the VIP is very luxurious. In this model, we have the kitchen and dinette amidships, but instead of the dining area, you can find a 3rd cabin with bunk beds, or the room for the sailor, with separate access from bow deck. Climbing aboard a Pershing is a bit like stepping into a furniture exhibition. You never know what you will find. But you're sure there will be something new and that it will be beautiful. I think boats like these are not built according to the latest fashions, but instead they inspire new trends. We begin as usual, giving gas and bringing the boat into planing.
Partono le turbine, I giri salgono.
The turbine starts, the revs rise, and the boat, yes, the boat lifts fast enough. But Pershing is most famous for its performance. And so, you are ready? Let's go.
Venti nodi, 24 nodi,
20 knots, 24 knots, 27 knots. Well, wow. The traction is excellent. It's a bit like having a four-wheel drive, an engine that transfers all of the power to the wheels without making them skid. Yes, because we have four propellers, a double propulsion IPS, and this is an advantage. IPS has become popular because it is able to optimize both performance and consumption, and so let's take some data at cruising speeds. We're at 25 knots and consumption at this time is 190 litres an hour total. Now it begins to act a bit more like a Pershing. I like it because we are at 34 knots and I still have a bit of gas to give. I'll give it all.
Tolgo l'autotrim e provo a agire io.
I take off the auto trim and try to take control myself. The revolutions increase slightly. Let's see if the system instead can correct my actions and do even better. Ah yes, wow, 35 knots, maximum speed. Another advantage of this type of propulsion is its maneuverability. Not only in port but also at sea. Look how it turns and how fast. The response to the helm is always very precise. Curious, they managed to have the Pershing writing stay still even as I turn the wheel. We tried this version with 1,450 horsepower and propulsion IPS, but the Pershing 5X is also available with two Caterpillar engines of 1,000 horsepower and surface propulsion. I cannot wait to try it.